Welcome, everyone, to episode 98 of 1 Hour, 1 Decision. I am Chris.
And I am Tom.
And we take 60 minutes and play a random, but this time requested game on Xbox Game Pass and decide, do we like folksy music while we're cutting away at ships?
Or would we rather listen to a more intense soundtrack?
Let's find out, shall we? This episode, we're going to be talking about Hardspace Shipbreaker. And This episode is requested. This game was requested by friend of the show, Dave from Tales from the Backlog. You guys check out his stuff. He does deep dives on lots of stuff. And it's good guy overall. Hardspace Shipbreaker was developed by Blackbird Interactive.
Caw.
And it's a good name for a game company. This game came out back in May of 2022, and I played this on the PC, and it was 3.55 gigabytes for the PC. Tom, what about you?
It is a whopping 0 gigabytes on the Xbox One, and those of you who have been listening for a little while now know that means it was cloud only on the Xbox One. But I did check 3.9 gigabytes on the Series X or Series S if you're using one of those.
A little bloated on the Xbox.
Yeah. You'd think on those newer gen systems they'd have it figured out, but nope. Still no.
No. Got to save those gigabytes and megabytes. But Tom, what kind of game is this?
I put first-person puzzle action.
Okay. I just took kind of the name and said first person shipbreaker / deconstructing simulator.
Mm-hmm. You can't just define the game by the game using the game names. The name of the game.
I added more words before it, so that still counts.
First person Hardspace Shipbreaker. Okay.
Yeah, I did say Hardspace. I said Shipbreaker because you are breaking ships.
You left out the hard space part there.
Yes, I did. Thank you so much for that. Noticing that, Tom. What's that game loop, though?
Why don't you start with yours? Because I think I just found where the hard space is.
Break ships to make money to break more ships. That's what I wrote.
Game is game, says Chris.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'll use a little bit more vocabulary here. Show you what I learned in high school.
Go ahead.
I have use your tools to chop up spaceships and get yourself out of debt.
Yes, you do.
It's an important life lesson for everyone.
It's very true, because this person, your character, has an insurmountable, or at least appears to be a very insurmountable debt.
Yes,
to get out of.
Not unlike people we knew who after college.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So that hits hard for a lot of folks there, I would assume.
A little too close to home.
Yeah, for sure. But this is in space. And let's talk about
so it's completely different. It's completely different because it's in space.
Completely different scenario. But let's talk about what we like here, Tom.
So I enjoyed that just a few lines of text at the very beginning of this game really sets the tone and the story. And that coupled with the opening cinematic, it has this music, it's got this poem, it's got like a lot of this corporate mumbo jumbo speak.
Yeah.
It feels very like, okay, like the world was built within the first like 5 minutes of setup in this game, which I appreciated. Got you very quickly into the mindset of what this character is going through.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely was a quirky premise.
Yes.
Like the fact that this corporation, you sign away basically your life.
Yeah.
And spoilers for I guess the first 5 minutes, they kill you. And then they reconstruct your body into this your new body. And I guess maybe that explains, you respawning if you die kind of thing. and that whole premise of it, like how you're allowed to come back alive in this scenario, and they talk about it too, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I agree. It was very interesting, and then you see that in that your bank account essentially being like in the, was it billions or is it trillions? I think it was billions.
It was at least billions, but I feel like it could have been trillions. It was nigh insurmountable.
Yeah. So that was pretty crazy. And you're just like, okay, got to get to work, got to get that payment off. So yeah,
just after a little while of this, I'll be making money eventually, right? I mean,
yeah. Said every indentured servant in history of society. But like when we get into the game, though, I like the fact that it's actually a pretty game, and for the size of the game, like
it's a fair point.
It's a pretty impressive looking game, and I think you pointed out here the tutorial was, for the most part, pretty good. They do walk you through,
because it can be a kind of pretty complicated game, but it rolls out each of the elements and like gets you acclimated with it, and then it's like, okay, and then you combine a couple of things to do a thing, like like most games should. The tutorial should start with baby steps, teach you the basics, and then it's like, okay, you can combine these things to do bigger things.
Right, absolutely. So cool idea. And for me, I thought I liked the kind of the puzzle aspect of this, right? Rather than you putting something together, you're taking something apart. And I thought that was kind of like a neat little thing, like to change your thought process a little bit. It's like, instead of, because a lot of times when you're playing a game or like a puzzle game, you're trying to put things together to see how they all work.
Yeah.
You're doing
you have all the pieces and you have to build the thing.
Right. So it was cool being able to switch to, because like, you have your normal vision, and then you have like that, I guess like heat or whatever, like that, like scan mode, where you can see like how all the components are put together, and like the cut points and all that stuff. So so that was kind of fun to pull out and then do. So what else did you like about this game?
I enjoyed the ability to experience Cal Kestis's day job on Baraka, because in Star
that's right,
Wars,
he does do this, right?
In Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, the main character, his name is Cal Kestis, and his day job, is to cut up ships. Now granted, he's on a planet while he's doing it.
Yeah, he's not doing it in space.
He's not doing
all
it
floaty
in space.
And everything. Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense, right? Like if this was the future or the distant past, depending on how you would look at it, spaceships are a thing. There are a lot of valuable components to spaceships. Absolutely. You're not just going to like burn them. You need to chop them up. There's a reason that chop shops are a thing that exist in the planet today, right? For cars. Yep. You
got to get that sweet metal.
Yeah.
And whatever else is in there. I don't know what's in a car. Speaking of which, cutting did feel pretty satisfying, especially the one mode with the line.
Yes.
It's just like, you see that thing just cut apart. I was like, oh, that's nice. It's nice. It kind of reminded me of the Dead Space weapon. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
So instead of killing necromorphs, you're just cutting up a ship in this case.
Yes, a lot mellower.
Yes, absolutely. Which to I don't know which mode you played in. I played in like obviously the easiest mode here, but
sure.
It felt like a very casual, cozy game, as I've heard before. Tom from Bad Elephant Gaming, Tom and Josh have mentioned this from Bad Elephant Gaming, but like, cozy. And like, what did you play this in? What mode did you play this in?
Whatever the normal one was.
Okay.
I didn't feel great pressure at any point in time, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Because like, apparently, like I did pick the lowest setting, But then when I got to the second choice, it was like, oh, did you want to still manage your oxygen and stuff like that, or like, you know, how your helmet can still get cracked? I'm like, what? You could do that in this game? I was like, oh, okay, that's a little sus. I kept it on because it was like I'm already on the lowest mode. Let me just see how this goes. But I didn't have any of those issues, and yeah, I do appreciate there's no time limit. It was nice. It was just nice to take my time and figure this out without having anyone like breathing down my neck and be like, hurry up, you need to do it. Although I noticed that there is a leaderboard for fastest chopper, I guess. Breaker is probably the better word to use here.
Yes.
So
on the topic of that, it seems to me like there are probably a lot of tools and things that you unlock at higher certifications that would make some of this work go much faster, and be less tedious. Because like if you need to basically, you know, when you first tackle a ship, it's like you need all these break points, and it's like just removing something takes a long time to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure that, you know, in the higher levels, they just give you a tool and the tool does that for you.
Right. Yeah, especially when you look at you have an inventory wheel, right? And then you can see there's other slots that's like, okay, that means we're probably going to get more tools and whatnot. So yeah, agreed. Anything else you want to bring up about likes?
I am fresh out of things I like. I'm ready to move on. How about you?
Yes, let's get into what we didn't like about this game.
Okay, well, I will start off by saying that I did not appreciate signing my literal life away.
Yeah.
I also think that it's kind of a Black Mirror, scary kind of like possible future for humanity.
For sure.
And you literally must die to begin your employment with Lynx, which is the megacorp in this.
Yep. I mean, I gotta say that the thing I didn't like also was the drudgery of filling out that job application at the beginning.
Yes.
Like making sure you check off all the boxes and stuff like that. Like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I honestly wanted to like stop the game right there. But I was like, you know what? I've half the hour. I have to keep going.
I enjoyed some of those later check boxes though, where it was it's like, and it's very, like you said, it's very obvious that you have to check them all, but it's like, I don't agree to this.
Yeah, but they keep saying how much money you'll be making, but they didn't tell you how much in debt you'll be after.
Yes.
So, and I gotta say, movement in space is hard.
Yeah, I found the controls very challenging.
Now I play this with mouse and keyboard, and I'm assuming you play this with controller.
With the controller, yeah.
So how did that feel overall? Like one of the things I thought some of the like accessing some of the stuff on the keyboard was sometimes a little bit challenging for me. Where I felt like it was almost meant to be played on a controller than a mouse and keyboard.
I could see what you mean, but the problem I had with it's so floaty because of course you're in space,
right?
So like it's very like, I think using a mouse means that you're you know, orienting yourself probably a whole lot easier.
Sure.
My struggles were with like getting in proper orientation, especially before using a tool or something.
Yeah.
Where it's like I'm starting to drift, but I want to cut a straight line, and I'm like, no, stop moving. Hold on to something, guy.
By the end of it, I was like literally pressing like the brakes.
Yeah.
And like making sure I would turn, brake, turn, like every movement I would have to make sure I hit that brake just so I'm not floating away as I'm trying to make a cut or trying to pull something towards me.
Yeah, I'm sure there's definitely a learning curve there, and your mileage may vary.
Right. And like for me, like while I appreciate the kind of story building and stuff, I felt like that early bit for me felt like it dragged on a little bit too long. But you know, it was, you know, again, like you just said, your minds may vary. Maybe you'd find it interesting, but I just want to get into the game and just give this thing a shot. I was like, what am I playing? I still had no idea what I was playing. So in that, there was a little frustration. So
speaking of things that were frustrating, you said you liked the way this game looked.
Yeah.
Playing over the cloud, it did not communicate well. There was a lot of tearing, a lot of stuttering on the graphic side. And this is one of the few games where I noticed that. Like sometimes I'm playing on the cloud and stuff looks really great and you really can't tell. And I don't know if it was just too much for this game to load or too much to communicate all at once. I don't know.
But I mean, the thing that's interesting is even though it's not a very fast-paced game, precision is important.
Yes, very.
So yeah, I could see that being definitely frustrating. Is like you're trying to make that one cut and then you jump a frame or something. You're like, oh my God, no. And then you cost yourself, because the one thing, while you don't have time, if you do make a bad cut, if you potentially destroy something, that comes out of your paycheck. So
and as you know, Chris, time is money.
It's right. Time is money. Absolutely, it is. Which, speaking of time, I feel like these breaking of ships is going to take a very long time. Yes. I didn't finish breaking my ship apart. What about you?
Neither did I. I think being tasked with chopping up a whole ship is incredibly intimidating. So like just to quickly explain, like the tutorial is like, oh yeah, do this, do this, do this. And it's like, oh, okay, sure. Right. And then they're like, okay, now break up a whole ship. And you're like, whoa, what?
Yeah. Because the tutorial is literally like 2 pieces of metal.
Yeah.
That they tell you to cut up.
Some hunks of metal floating in space. And you're like, okay, kick these into these receptacles. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And that was easy.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now take apart this ship. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah. Good luck. See ya.
It felt very much like a day one on the job, and the guy who hired you expects you already know everything.
Right.
And it's like, you know how to do this, right? Okay, see you later. I was checking on you at 3:00. And you're like, wait, but I don't. And they're gone.
Yeah. They're off to start their happy hour early.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but they ain't helping you learn how to do the job.
No. I don't know about you. What did you think about the music?
To me, it just kind of blended into the background, and maybe that's where my little not so great joke at the beginning was. It's like I could 100% see myself replacing this soundtrack with something. Else.
Yeah, and it's funny because Dave mentioned that what he does is when he plays this game, he actually listens to other podcasts while he's doing it. So he turns off the music, and so it's like he gets him into kind of like a calming zone of just listening to stuff while he's going away, breaking away to these ships. So yeah,
I think that would vastly improve this game.
Yeah, as long as you feel like you're getting something done outside of the game, hey, why not? Yeah. Anything else you want to bring up about your dislikes?
I think I'm all set on the dislikes.
So let's go into our other thoughts then.
I think the story is interesting and different take on what a space game can be.
Yep.
Right. And I did look it up a little bit online, and the internet calls us an action adventure game. But like, there's no combat or exploration or aliens or like enemy spaceships.
Yeah.
You're just doing a job, right? It's Jedi Fallen Order if no one ever discovered that you were a Jedi.
No, it's just Cal Kestis. It's just not Jedi Fallen Order. It's just called Star Wars Cal Kestis.
Right.
Day in the life or whatever. Yeah. I agree. But although you could say there is a way to call it exploration. You're exploring these ships. You're breaking them down. You're seeing them.
All right. Yeah.
If you want to go that way. I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch, but it was funny is as I was playing this game, the like the evil mega corporation or whatever kind of reminded me of Deep Rock Galactic. I don't know if you played that game, but there's like a co-op troll
with the
like,
dwarf guys.
The dwarf games, yeah, sorry, not trolls. It's just not as frantic, obviously, because you're not, going down and attacking things. You're just breaking a ship. But like, there's just that overall like, there's this evil corporation that's keeping you down and like, whatever. And then there's like the ranking system that there is in this game too. So, and then how long to beat says that this game takes about 25 to 30 hours to beat.
I wonder. I feel like that's probably at a faster pace than I was going.
It's possible. It's definitely possible. Because, yeah, like I said, I definitely didn't finish that ship. And my word, if this was a small ship, what happens to those gigantic, like galactic cruisers or whatever? You know,
if this is you like chopping up an X-wing, and it took forever. It's like, okay, well, what happens when they give you a frigate or a star destroyer?
Right. Which could be interesting. You know what? I was thinking about it. This game, it would be great co-op. Would this game be a co-op game? Mm-hmm. I would think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there's co-op, but I didn't see a multiplayer mode. I don't remember seeing one.
No, this you're right. This with some communication, like the power washing game we played.
Yeah.
Like there's a level here where you can go, okay, you tackle this, I tackle that, and we'll meet in the middle. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not the small ships. Okay, I could see that being too easy, but for the gigantic ships, I'm assuming that you get to, definitely, I would see this being like having that need for someone to help you out. But hey, maybe just put on a podcast and do that instead. But Tom, we got to find out though. Are we keeping this game or are we throwing this in the furnace? But before we get to that, we wanted to let you know about our spectacular sponsor, Winner Winner. Winner Winner is a live arcade claw machine game available on Android and iOS, and it's 100% skill-based. Trust me, if you see me play my games, you know I'm not that great, and I still have won games on my first try. There's hundreds of prizes, even featuring gaming merch from Nintendo. Pick your prize from choices in your particular game, or bank your earnings with tickets to redeem any other prize you want from their wide selection. And for all you lovely people listening or watching our show, you can get bonus tokens on your first app token purchase. Download and create your account, then use the link in the episode's description to enter promo code DALE after you sign in. Check it out. It's clawsome.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, this game feels way too much like a second job for me. So I don't know if everybody knows here, but I play video games to have fun. And this was tedious and also kind of depressing. This is not what I want out of my game experience.
Oh, well, that's too bad. That's too bad. But it was so no pressure kind of situation, but okay.
Yeah. But I didn't have fun. And the plot is like, I mean,
yeah, the indentured servitude kind of thing was, that's rough. That's rough.
Right. It's like, no, I figured out how to live debt free in real life. I'm not going to go play a video game where I am not.
True. For myself, by the time I got the hang of the controls, though, I was in a groove. Like, I felt like, okay, I know what to do. I know how to tackle this and stuff like that. And after my hour, I actually went back and finished the ship.
No way.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was satisfying in some weird second jobby kind of way to get that done. Because like, for that first mission, you only had to get to like rank 2 or 3 when you cut it up. So like you could have walked away after that, but I was like, no, I'm going to cut this whole thing up and put it away. So I did. I ended up doing that.
Very cool.
But because of that, I was like, all right, I felt a little satisfaction in that. And because of that, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it.
Are you going to try out this, listen to the podcast while you do it then?
I think I might try that. So it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I think I'm going to give it a go. But
so you people out there, if you're going to do what Chris does, you could listen to us. while you chop up ships.
There you go. You could be listening to this episode while you're playing.
Meta.
Oh, yeah. But then you'd probably have to play another couple more episodes of our show to complete an actual ship.
Yes.
Or just put this on repeat. I don't know why you would do that, but you would do that. That's a possibility too. But anyway, those are our thoughts. Let us know what you think of this game. Follow us and say hello on Twitter at TC1H1D or send us an email at TC1H1D@outlook.com. And check out our streams whenever we stream on Twitch at Check out our streams at twitch.tv/1H1D. And if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, send us a comment down below and we'll try to respond. And Tom, 1H1D is part of the QTV network. And if you like gaming podcasts, check out Quit the Bill, a weekly gaming news podcast. And they do all these TikTok streams now. It's all fun. And to see that whole lineup, check out quitthebill.com/network.
There are a lot of shows on there. So if you need more content while you're breaking down those ships.
There you go. You got that content. So, Tom, we got to find out what we're playing next, don't we?
What is on the docket?
Well, the docket has been actually decided for us next week, as we put up a poll on Twitter to find out what game we're going to be playing next. And we are going to be playing Frog Detective.
Oh ho!
Yeah, Tom, you're into frogs.
Yes. Anything reptilian, amphibian. If it's green, I'm down.
So he's already confirmed he is liking this game.
Yep.
Perfect. But
it's already a keep for me. It doesn't matter what the game is.
So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.